The way you market a property is very different now than it was 10 years ago. The technology has changed, more tools are available, and one of those great tools is the iGuide. Joining us now to talk a little more about this is Chris White, the Senior Marketing Manager for Planitar, the creator of iGuide. Hi, Chris. How are things?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, we are big fans of iGuide at See Your House Now. The majority of our clients use it. But there are still a few people out there, a few realtors who aren't too familiar with what it is. So let's just start with that. What is iGuide?
That's a great question. So iGuide is a lot of different things to different people, but if I were to sum it up, I would say that it is an online experience that allows you to tour a home without going there, but then that also provides you with accurate and detailed property information. So it's more than just seeing and experiencing the property. iGuide is really about giving you detailed measurements of that property as well, so that you can not only sort of visualize yourself there, you can also measure that property, figure out how big it is, and figure out if your life fits in that space.
And measuring is something that I have found since we started offering iGuide. That is often what seals the deal. People love, first of all, the floor plan. Being able to have a floor plan seems to be the big thing. And then you must hear from realtors as well. Not having to go around with a laser or measuring tape or however you want to do it is a huge bonus because it's all done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge time saver. If you don't have to measure every room yourself, someone's going to do it for you, then you can spend that time doing something else. So with an iGuide, you're going to get more than just room dimensions. You also get the total square footage of the house. So it depends on your area, but that's required for listing in some cases. So rather than measuring every space methodically and then calculating the total square footage, iGuide can do it for you.
Right. So iGuide also has the 360, which a lot of people, even if they don't use iGuide, they're aware that is how iGuide works, is being able to look up and down and all around. And often what we hear is that the fear is we're going to show too much of that room, but there's ways around that.
Oh, absolutely. iGuides give you full control over sort of like what's seen versus what's not seen. It's better to think about it in terms of points of view. So often when you want to show off a property, there are certain spaces that are more important than others. Obvious ones, probably the kitchen, some of the bathrooms, maybe a bedroom, living room, things like that. So you don't need to show anything other than points of view in positions that you think are important for a prospective buyer. Everything else you can hide. So, if too much or too little, that's up to you. That's a creative decision.
Yeah. So let's talk about how a realtor even goes about ordering an iGuide. Obviously in Waterloo region, we'd love people to use us. But no matter where you are, and iGuide is worldwide, which is amazing. Tell people who are finding out about this for the first time how you can find an operator in their area.
So we have a map that you can go to. So if you go to goiguide.com and you click on the Find a Service Provider button, there's a big old map there. And on that map is every service provider across the world. So all you have to do is zoom into your local area and you'll see a list of options, and then you can choose to contact them. Every photography business is different. Some have different focuses. So maybe video, maybe drone. But everyone on that list will obviously offer iGuide, and then you can choose the service provider that meets your needs with regards to everything else, or your other marketing efforts. Yeah.
Right. And something else I do want to mention before we go that I was just speaking to a client about last week is the way it looks when you're on realtor.ca or realtor.com. It's a very clean and clear presentation, so that if you have photos, you have video, you have the iGuide, it just looks really nice when you're on that page and you click that button, and your provider can decide whether or not the video plays first or the 360 or whatever it is. And so I think that Media Hub, or whatever we refer to it as, is also a really big bonus.
Oh yeah, it's a big win because the information that people want, and that's all people who are marketing the property, people who are trying to learn about the property, is presented, front and center right at the top of the page. So you have access to everything that you could want, videos and the 3D tour, and to your point, all the property information is all there, right there in that container. So it's easy to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and one other thing, I keep saying one more thing, but you guys have been great with constantly updating. I mean, it's not like you created the iGuide and now it just sits there and people use it. We are constantly getting updates to the way things are presented or the workflow for the photographers, and that's important. People realize that it's constantly evolving too, right?
Absolutely. The recent events over the last few years have really pushed a lot of this stuff to the forefront, and it is now an expectation. So, people's needs have evolved rapidly, and so obviously we want to meet those needs through obviously different types of content and better integration. So, yeah, 100%. We're always working on stuff and trying to make the product better.
Yeah, you sure are. And we appreciate it. As mentioned, huge fans of iGuide right here. So thank you, Chris. That's Chris White, the Senior Marketing Manager with Planitar, the creator of iGuide. Thanks so much for your time, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Waterloo Region, for making us number one. Number one for real estate marketing. Number one for real estate photography. If you're looking to sell, work with an agent who invests in marketing your property with high-quality video trailers, photography, iGuide 360 tours, and detailed floor plans. Ask an agent to see your house now. And to catch listings as soon as they become available, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social. See your house now. SeeYourHouseNow.com.